Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be going over some of the recent changes we've made to You Don't Belong. This is some of the updates we've made over the last month. We've added new things, we've changed prior things, and this is really it. So the first thing we've changed is right here on the main menu. Before we had an old kind of temporary menu. This is something that will be closer to how the final menu will work. But now when we press these buttons on the main menu, they're now animated. Everything matches our game's font style. So yeah, there will be more buttons. The main menu, this is, we're gonna work more on the design of the background. This isn't exactly what we have envisioned, but this is definitely closer to how we want the animation of the buttons to work. So within the dungeon, we have a couple new rooms. First room we have is this one, just to the right of me, where this slime and this new enemy comes into play. So as you may have noticed, the slimes are now black. That represents more closely what kind of is possessing all the enemies in our game. If you've noticed, this dummy right here, the candles, the chests, they all have this black ooze coming out of them. So our slimes really didn't make sense to be pink. It made more sense for them to be black and kind of represent this ooze that emanates from all the other enemies. Going into this dummy mimic, or dummy enemy that we've added to our game, you'll notice when it attacks me, it backs away once I kill this other slime. So every time it attacks you, it goes into this defensive stance, and when it's in the stance, you can't attack it. So I'll let it attack me one more time. And if I shoot at it, you'll notice I can't do any damage to it. It just backs away. So this is we're going to do some more work on how this enemy functions, but that is kind of the general idea or gist of how it works. When you kill it, you'll see we have a new system in our game for currency as well. So we have two new currencies that we've added to the game. One is called Anima. That is what all these enemies have been dropping in the top right. Anima is going to be used to upgrade your attacks in the future in the game, and you'll collect it from essentially every enemy in the game. The harder the enemy, the more anima it will drop, and it's kind of just a random range of anima that it can likely drop. The other currency is coins, and coins you can collect from any chests, whether that chest be a real chest or an enemy. So you'll see this chest right here. I believe this one's an enemy, so if I attack it, yep, you'll see it's an enemy. Let's see if I can kill it before it kills me. Well, I did not. Alright, so here's another chest. Let's try that again. We'll knock this guy out. My best method for getting these guys. Oh, there we go. So as you see, I've collected some coins from that, and my coin counter went up. So there's two different types of coins in the game. One is silver coins, and the other is gold coins. Silver coins are worth 1, and gold coins are worth 10. These coins are going to be used to unlock new attacks, so there'll be a shopkeeper in the game. We've not implemented that yet, but it's something we want to work on in the future. And that shopkeeper is going to be where you trade your coins for new attacks. So anima, in the right, is to upgrade attacks. Coins are to unlock new ones. We want to keep those two things separate because we don't want players to have to choose between buying a new one and upgrading an attack. So another new thing you might notice is the candles now have heat seeking on their projectiles. So before it was really easy to dodge the candles attacks. Now they will attempt to kind of hit you better with their heat-seeking ability. It kind of just made sense because it's a candle and it's shooting fire at you. So they have that, and they also have the ability to dodge your attacks. Now, it's not perfect, and we don't want it to be perfect because we still want you to be able to hit them with a ranged attack. We just want it to be very tricky. So it's definitely easier when there's multiple around each other. Another thing is our default attack is nerfed a little bit. So you can, before you could damage enemies 10 times in a single second with the default melee attack, now you can damage them 3 times in 1 second. So most enemies take an additional few hits to kill, just to make the game a little less easy. Another new room we've added to the game is right here. You'll see we have a dummy mimic in this room. This is kind of an armory room that can spawn in. I'll show you that once this guy's dead. Here we are. So this is like a kind of a barracks slash armory room. You've got a bunch of beds lying around here and some weapons as well as some lights and plants, just regular decorations. Right here on this wall is a spawn point for one of our other enemies called the Brick. I'll show you the Brick later on. I don't believe I've covered him in a video yet. Once again, here's probably what's a better look at this new room we've added. So I really like this one because it's just kind of segmented into these different areas. It's not as open as other rooms are. You'll see right here this fireplace, as every other fireplace in the game you can turn on. Same thing with most of the lanterns in the game, you can turn them on and off. So some of them might spawn off and you can turn it on just to make it easier to see. Um, so yeah, this room kind of forces you to navigate it in a different way. It also just makes the dungeon feel less like it's a room by room thing. Alright, well here's a fireplace that's spawned turned off. I can turn it on, and there's a chest in here. Now, the chests in the game, they will either be the chest enemy or an actual chest, so if I hit the interaction button on it, and we find out it's a real chest, and this one spawns some silver coins for me. Additionally, we've added some newer decorations. So this is like a prison room. We've added some of these jail cell bars right here, chains on the walls. So this is one of the new rooms. This is supposed to be kind of like a little dungeon prison area. Again, chests can spawn in here, whether it's real or not. It's kind of up to chance. This one, unfortunately, is not real. Alright, well there are several new rooms we've worked on and reworked in this new update. As I've shown you, we have this prison room right here. We have this other room. How the spawning works is we have this room enemy spawner script. You can add different types of enemies to spawn in each room, and you can add a minimum to a maximum amount for each room. So the minimum amount of dummies that can spawn in each room is 1, and the maximum is also 1. Essentially meaning every time you encounter this room, there will always be a dummy in it. And then when it comes to pink slimes, there will always be at least 1, but there can be up to a maximum of 3 of these slimes in it as well. When it comes to this prison room over here, there can be anywhere from 0 to 2 pink slimes and 0 to 1 chests or the chest enemy as well. So with this room, if you have 2 chests in it, it means one of them's real and one of them's fake. If you have 1 chest, it could mean it could be a real chest or one of our chest enemies that we have in the game. So here is another new room we've added to the game. This incorporates some of the dummies as well. These are not enemies, but these are actually just decorations. This is kind of like maybe a combat training room. And again, this one can spawn some of the dummy mimics in it, or dummy enemies in it, from 0 to 1, and candle enemies as well from 0 to 2. Now going into kind of the idea of our game, you'll notice all our enemies are called mimics. We're trying to stray away from that, although they're called that in the game files. We've kind of come to the conclusion that we don't want them to be necessarily mimics, but more so spirits that are taking over these objects. My friend Token, who I'm working on the game with, comes up with much of the lore and background conceptual ideas of the game. I just kind of code everything and design it. Alright, you likely already saw this room as well. This is another kind of prison room. You've got a couple prison cells, 2 smaller ones, and then a larger one here. This one spawns anywhere from 1 to 4 of our candle enemies in the game. So that's about everything kind of covered in the March update for You Don't Belong. We definitely get a lot of people asking us what the release date for the game is, and we're kind of hoping to get it out by 2026. Unfortunately, we can't promise this year because there's so much we want to do for this game, and this is kind of still a side project for us. We can't put our full time into this. We try to work on it as much as we can every week, adding a new enemy, adding new decorations, or adding new gameplay features. In the last week, we've added the currency and we've added this new main menu system, but it is definitely hard to pump out things as fast as we'd like to. But yes, our current goal right now is sometime in 2026. That doesn't mean the beginning of it or the end. It could be really any time there. But we have a lot that we want to do for this game, and we want to make sure it's as perfect as can be so that we're happy with it, and we feel if we're happy with it, then hopefully our audience will be too. We are going to be having playtesting for this game sometime in the future, and that will definitely be something we do this year. What we plan to do is once we're completed with this first dungeon that we've been working on, we want to get the game in the hands of people. So we want to get people to be able to test out our game, and we will do more announcements on that in the future. So definitely stick around if you're interested in playtesting for our game. There will probably be a Google form or some type of sheet to fill out, and you'll have access to a demo version of our game for a short period of time, in which we would really like to hear feedback. And speaking of that, in the comments, if you have any suggestions or any ideas down below, we'd love to hear it. Tell us what you think of the layout of things. Obviously, a lot of what you see in these videos is still temporary. You know, this is still really early in development, and a lot of the rooms are still empty in the dungeon because we have yet to decorate them. So we have a lot that we want to do. So again, thank you for sticking around. If you've watched the video this far, that's amazing. Really appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed, please do that. That would be great. And be sure to check out our Instagram. There will be more posts there as Token runs that account. But anyways, thank you for watching and have a great one. See ya.